Eek. Walk. I'm just gonna mess about with that there. I've just washed my hair, so I need to get sorted. Have a good one. Thank you. Oops, done that wrong. Well, Patrick, good evening, sir. You are first to join me tonight, and I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much. I hope you are well. Cynthia's there. Thank you, Cynthia. Doing her job, as quite rightly so. What do they call it? Monitoring the live chat. Oh, there's a lot of chat to monitor, Cynthia, at the moment, as you can see. Moderator, yeah. Look, she's got the number. She's got that silly little crown already. Who's that? Mr. Murphy. And for once, I'm not first. I did that on purpose, Andrew. I went live, I think, a minute early just to catch you out. And it worked. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you've all so far. Well, I know Cynthia's had a good weekend because she's been with me most of the weekend. I hope Andrew and Patrick have had a good weekend. Oh, you're lucky to find me awake. I've been trying to transfer photographs from my phone, my camera, and everything else, and it's not quite gone to plan. And I was beginning to flag a little bit earlier on, and I just sat here in this slightly uncomfortable chair, which was my father's, and I don't want to get rid of it. It's what he used to have at his computer, but it's not particularly comfortable. Evening, Tracy. I do want to get myself a proper, I suppose, office chair. But because, as you can see, I've got a wooden floor, it would have to have brakes on the wheels. Otherwise, I would just go backwards. But I could make up my bed behind me and actually do the live from there. I don't have to type anything. So, yeah, so I need to get myself another chair. And this chair, I can then put back. I'm pointing that way. There's a window there, as you can see. My garage is just there, but at the back of the garage is a little office, which I've taken some of the garage, but this chair really belongs in there. But as I say, I don't want to get rid of it because it's my dad's. But it's not very comfortable. So I don't know how my father actually managed to sit in this chair. He never spent as much time in a chair in front of a computer as I do, but he did enjoy it when he had it. So yeah, want to keep hold of it. It's quite a solid bit of furniture. I don't know where Dad bought it from, but yeah, want to hang on to it. So the people are very late joining in tonight. They're all probably watching something on television, which would be far more interesting than sitting and watching me waffle on for an hour. I think I might go to bed early tonight, actually. You might have noticed I'm a bit glowy. Today, I've been out in the sunshine. I didn't put a hat on. So I can probably sense there's going to be a bit of a sore head in the morning. And I'll explain a little bit about that later on. And I've got to use a couple of phrases. I suppose you would call them phrases, wouldn't you, Cynthia? That we picked up today. And hello, Anna. Hope you are well. Yeah, so the very first one that someone mentioned today actually made quite a few of us go, pardon? What? Never heard that before. So yeah, I'll try and explain that a little bit. Once we've got enough people that's going to be watching and commenting, that would actually make it worthwhile me saying it. So there. No alcohol tonight. no cups of tea. I've got my drinks bottle here with some no added sugar squash. Alcohol was consumed at lunchtime or this afternoon. So what has everybody been doing this last week or this weekend? Have you been out and about? Have you been to some county shows? Have you been to I don't know, Waitrose or Costco or something like that? Well, Tracy and Andrew live in Fareham, which is not far from Southampton, where there's a huge IKEA, which at some point Cynthia and I are going to go to, because all the way down there, because my cousin wants some of their sugar-free biscuits, which are actually quite nice. And I think I will treat Cynthia to a plate of meatballs. Yeah, that's my generosity for her, a plate of meatballs. So yeah, so I do need to go to IKEA at some point. Andrew, I was just about to say exactly that. Time-wise, journey-wise, depending on the holds-ups on the M27, probably not a lot. Good evening, Mark. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's very kind of you, sir. That's two people that have joined that are not watching television and would rather watch me waffle. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, yes. Well, Alison. Good evening. Good evening. On our not very frequent visits to IKEA in Southampton, we tend to visit the restaurant. And why is it that everybody always goes for the window seats? They're always full, aren't they? I think Cynthia and I managed a couple of times to get a window seat, but I can understand why. You've got some nice views down there. I was watching Columbo, but that's a repeat. Mark, on certain channels, that's all you get, isn't it? Is repeats. Good evening, Ron. I was going to message you earlier on, Ron, but problems with transferring photographs from my phone over there to this computer, and it took my focus away a little bit from what I was doing, and so I didn't get around to messaging you and Elaine. So I do apologise about that, but I will do. I'll try and do something after the live this evening. Was it hashtag #1 Cynthia is asking Ron? Oh, I better mute my phone. Excuse me a moment. We don't want that going off all the time, which will send me round the twist. So why isn't that working now? Bear with. Settings, sounds and vibrations, mute. Oh, that's it. I've muted it. So if anybody tries to ring me, they won't get hold of me. Yes, Ron, Cindy's saying, how are you? And how are you? And how is Elaine? Is Elaine sitting in the background? I don't know if she can type or not at the moment. I'm assuming she's still got a cast on her arm, but I don't know. Now people have started posting comments and that on the Kevin's Rambles group, and of course I'm getting notifications now in the bottom corner. So if you hear this funny noise, it's that. Who got the funny noise on their phones today with the emergency alarm text that came through? The interesting Ron saying he's fine. That's great news. That is great news. It was interesting today, and I'll explain a little bit more with what helped me in 9 minutes in. But Cynthia and I was having a meal with a group of other people today, and the alarm started going off. But what was quite interesting was not everybody got them at the same time. So we think, and one of them, one of the ladies that was sat between Cynthia and I, no, next to Cynthia, she got hers about 15 minutes after everybody else. So in the event of an emergency or a world war, most of us would have been safe, but poor Jane wouldn't have been. So it's crazy. And Ron's saying Elaine's okay as well, so that's great news. That is great news. You two have been through a tough old time recently. You really have. Hopefully, once September, October's got through, you'll both be absolutely fine. So, but look, we're 10 minutes in. There must be other people joining us at some point. But anyway, I'm just going to tell you that I very rarely get invited to a wedding, nor is Cynthia. Up north, he got it late. Well, you know, if it's going to be a national alert, for goodness sake, make sure everybody gets it at the same time, because otherwise, what's the point? Yeah, so Cynthia and I very rarely get invited to a wedding. And yesterday, we were invited to two. We had already been invited to Mark and Jane's wedding some time ago. Then this year was announced that my nephew Brian was getting married to Laura, and I was round at their place a few weeks ago, and I said, actually, I know you're getting married, but when are you getting married? Please don't be telling me it's the 6th of September. And Laura looked at Brian with this sort of, oh, and it was. Originally, I was supposed to be walking Laura in, but they also asked me to take photographs. So my comment was, how can I walk Laura in and take photographs? So it was then decided that Laura's son would walk her in, because sadly Laura's lost both her father and her closest uncle in the space of about a year. Good evening, Clive. So her son walked her in. I took the photographs, and I had to pick Cynthia up, I think, at 9:15 yesterday, and I got home at about 9:45, 10 o'clock. So it was a very, very long day, and we were both tired. Because obviously I had to take Cynthia back first. And then today, Cynthia and I, apart from the wedding yesterday, it was an whole weekend event. They had, Jane and Mark had people from South Africa, New Zealand, Italy. Oh gosh, Cynthia, help me out. It was about 4 or 5 different countries. So we were asked to lead a walk around parts of Old Midhurst. And we were really quite honoured to be asked that, because a lot of them were obviously never been to Midhurst before. So we met them today. We weren't sure how many people were going to be there. And there was altogether 17 of us. Just let me bear with me. Elaine saying, evening all, thank you for asking, Kevin. I have not got the cast now. They gave me a brace, which is so much nicer, but my wrist gets very sweaty. Stitches are still there, but all in all, good things. That is great news, Elaine. That is great news. I'm glad. Let's get, and hot weather like today. Yeah, I can understand that. So we led this group of people. We started off in Midhurst Old Square. I gave them a little bit of information about some of the old buildings there. Laura, good evening. Brilliant. Thank you so much. It's lovely of you to drop in. How are you doing, Laura? How are you doing? So we went up over St Anne's Hill. We spent 10 or 15 minutes up there. Then we took them down to the Calvary Ruins, a walk up past the main polo fields, and then back up through the town. So we had a lovely time. Then it was back to the Greyhound pub for a meal, which was lovely. But on the walk, somebody said, a young girl, lovely girl, came out with 2 different things. Now, everybody's heard the saying, tickle my fancy or something like that. Her comment was, tickle my pickle. Tickle. If anybody's ever heard that before, well, I'll be amazed. Tickle my pickle. And it really did make a lot of us laugh, but it was great. Laura says, and the other one was Yappuccino. I'm going to order a Yappuccino. So that was the other one. But that again, that made us laugh. But tickle my pickle, it must be a generational thing because I'd never heard that before. So yeah. Right, let me catch up with some of these comments. Clive, evening, watching the US Open men's tennis final on another device whilst listening to this chat, and they say mega. Well done, Clive. Laura saying, I'm doing okay, almost halfway through now. Definitely feeling it. Yeah, Laura, fantastic. You keep going. Yes, I'm okay. Thank you very much for asking. That's very kind of you. Dave Ford, hi. I was at a wedding at St Bart's in Hazelmere yesterday. Reception and evening do was at the Rising Sun in Milan. I had to go through furnace to get there. Yeah, but I know the Rising Sun very well. I think Cynthia and I, a few years ago, went to see one of Steve's bands play there. Is that right, Cynthia? I think I actually went off and left my big Sony camera hanging on the back of the chair, and realised, I think, when I got back to Hazelmere, I got home, I had to ring Steve up to see if he was still at the pub to pick up my phone, my camera. Ron saying, never seen you so smart. My father-in-law, mother-in-law, and nephews, 7 of them, had lunch at the Greyhound today, recovering from the wedding. I wonder if it was at the same time. Well, there was a 70th birthday party going on in the pub, and Cynthia saying yes, it was Rising Sun. Mark said, is it a common occurrence for pubs to change names? The Ocean Inn Dymchurch originally was called the Victoria. Recently discovered that it was 1950s. Not sure when it changed it. Do you know, Mark, I get really cross with some of these old English country pubs changing their names, and I don't think they should be allowed to. There's a lovely old country pub called the King's Arms between Midhurst and Fernhurst, but it changed its name. There was they had a barn conversion with a very successful Indian restaurant there called the Banyan. The owners then decided it would be a great idea to move the name over to the pub, so it's now called the Banyan, and the old barn conversion is now a cafe, but still comes under the name the Banyan. I don't like it. I really don't like it. They've said, Rod, I wasn't looking quite as smart. Were you tripping the light? Fantastic. Fantastic? Yeah, fantastic. Mr. Ford, with your running exploits and stuff like that, I'd imagine you are a nimble dancer. A nimble dancer, I would say. So yeah, that's what Cynthia and I have been up to this weekend. And I have to say, it's been a fantastic weekend. We saw Jane's wedding dress today on video, and she was absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful dress. And her brother, and I'm not going to tell you what he does. And I'm related to Jane and her brother Simon. I think we're third cousins or something, so we're related that way. So Simon, I had a chat with him at the mill, and I am going to be heading down to Winchester with Cynthia and Steve, I think, at some point. And Simon has agreed to me going down there, making a video, and having a chat with him. So I'm going to do that sometime in the future. So that's something I'm going to look forward to doing. So I'm not going to say any more than that. But the reason for it is that I've been contacted privately by a couple of people asking me to consider looking into the group or other people and doing some more. I don't like calling them interviews. Doing some more chats, but perhaps use them as a Wednesday infill video. I've got 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 or 4 people lined up already, and until I get several more, I won't be doing anything about doing any videos yet. But different types of things. So we'll have a look into that a bit more later on. Ron's saying, should you have a now and after photos day? Well, it's good to see Dave's back on the old YouTube channel. I haven't had a chance to look at his video yet, but I will do. So it's great to see him back. But yeah, you know, before and after videos, photographs, I think that can work sometimes. David said, I was conducting a bit of research that involved numerous trips to the bar. Dave, did you have to drive back to Dorset? Or was the lovely Mrs. Ford doing the driving? But yeah, just to give you a bit of information as well. Fiona, good evening. If I remember rightly, Fiona, you almost joined at the end last month. Fiona, you're not that late. Mrs. F was designated driver. Well done. There's a sensible man. So as you all know, the information has been shared, been posted and reshared about the walk at the end of the month. I've been in lots and lots of messages back and forth between Bonnie and I this evening, all of which I've now got to send over to Cynthia, about the walk at the end of October, which will be the 26th, I think, as he reaches up to his calendar. 26th, is it? No, that's November. Yes, 26th of October. And this is a walk that Bonnie's going to be leading, and it is down her way in Brighton. But once Cynthia's got everything tied up about that, then she will then post that to the group. And the group, again, grown a little bit. It's now 283 people joined the group, I think. I was told today by the people that we led the walk for that they were going to follow us on YouTube and Facebook, but not everybody does what they say they're going to do. And my glasses are I'm a bit Eric Morecambish here by the feel of it, or look of it. Dave's saying, I hear from Cynthia that your duck now has a name. Mine hasn't got one yet. He appeared in my comeback video yesterday. I saw that. Look out for him. He only appeared once, yeah. Yes, and Dave, if you look behind me, hang on, that way. There he is. He's keeping an eye on me. And we've named him Percy. Percy the duck. So there was a little bit of discussion about what to call him. And Buzz is there as well. We thought we'd better get him out. And the bear, well, the bear hasn't got a name. I think that was belonged to one of my kids. But that stupid thing that Ian made, there it is. I was trying to hide it, but yeah. I think it says, Kevin, you're 1 in a million, or something like that. Why Percy? I've got no idea, David. I think we went through several names, and I can't remember who come up with the idea, but it just seemed the right name for him, or for it. I'm calling him a him. Well, it would be with the name of Percy, wouldn't it? But Yeah, so perhaps Cynthia can answer that question. Cynthia, moderator Cynthia, please come back and answer this question that Dave's asked. Why Percy? No idea. No idea at all. But the I was just about to say something, and it went straight out of my head. But yeah, my video went live today at 4 o'clock. My walk around Newstead Abbey, which was a bit quick because this was back in May. I had to get a move on. Anybody that will watches the video will hear me say that I've got to get back because I'm going to a wedding, and that was Sue Blount's daughter's wedding, Natalie's, and I was designated to take some people to the registry office, so I had to make sure I got back in time to get changed and then get to pick up the people. So I didn't stay there as long as I wanted to, but yeah, but lovely. The gardens are lovely. If you're ever up in that way, go and have a look. Newstead Abbey. Cynthia's saying, we asked my daughter what name she thought the ducks should have, and she said Percy or Colin. Oh, that's right. We asked Holly, didn't we? Yeah, so Percy it became. That's absolutely right, Cynthia. So Percy it is. Percy it is. That's better than Wilfred. Oh, don't tell me someone out there's got somebody in their family called Wilfred, and I've just upset them. Let me apologise in advance. Oh dear. Andrew Murphy just got a fairly decent photo of the partial lunar eclipse. Actually, I don't know what I'm looking out there for because I've got a canopy roof out there. But did you see the moon last night? Ooh. Wait, it didn't go. Ooh. It was just quite stunning. Excuse me, you're supposed to be paying more attention to this live than going and taking a photograph of a lunar eclipse. To be honest, I didn't even know a lunar eclipse was happening. No one said there was going to be one. This is where we all abandon Kevin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking. Thanks, Cynthia. No doubt now you know about that. You'll be dashing downstairs or looking out the window to see if you can see the moon. Dave's saying, Percy or Colin is a bit of a... Is it? Glad you shorted Percy or Colin. Oh, yes, see you, Cynthia. Yeah, thanks. You know when your priorities are right. I've just got to have a swig. My throat is very dry tonight. Even though when I go to a wedding day, Ford, I don't have several trips back and forth to the bar. Cynthia and I just got a bottle of wine and put it on the table. Yeah, see if I'm on to it. God. I'll see you later, everybody. I'll put this on pause, shall I? Actually, there must be a way that I can do this where I can say, be right back. Mr. Norris, I didn't know you were live. Thanks to our man, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Andrew, can I just remind you, first Sunday of the month, 8 o'clock, or 9 o'clock your time. Can you please put an alert on your phone? Like everybody has got an alert today from the government, albeit at different times, just to remind you that once a month Kevin is live. Cynthia's come back and says it's okay. Oh dear, Cynthia, it doesn't pay to live in that little bit of a dip, does it? Andrew's saying, yeah, I know, but when are you a man of leisure? You miss these things. Yeah. Were you at another gallery today with all your paintings around the wall. Probably out in the garden with your feet up, having a coffee with Yasna, with Zorro at your feet. Is that about right, Andrew? Now, Cynthia and I got some good news this week. We had heard, as you will all know, that Cynthia and I have an allotment that we share. And there was all these horrible rumours going about how much they were going to go up by. And we were talking, again, Cynthia will correct me if I'm wrong, and she's corrected me several times today, which is nothing unusual. I think we were being or it was being suggested that it was going to go up by probably over 300%. Yes, I did say over 300%. But I had an email from our landlords today, the other day, saying it's going to be the same price as last year. Yes. And I got that. So I messaged Cynthia to tell her, and she said, pay it now. So although I don't have to pay until next month, it's been paid. They've got our money, and so we're happy about that. So that was a great bit of news, because we had sort of notions of having to clear the plot, put everything away. Yes, Cynthia's saying over 300% is right. But thankfully, that's not the case. So we can now really, we're putting some of our beds to sleep for the winter, shall we say? So, yeah. Good evening, Owen. Thank you, my friend, for joining in. Andrew's saying, I'm negotiating with a gallery. No, I've been burning stuff in the meadow. Yeah. I hope you haven't been setting fire to the meadow, Andrew. But so are you sort of clearing stuff up, ready for the winter in Croatia? So what seasons are you now? Are you sort of slightly ahead of us? Yeah. Alison O'Brien, I've been outside to see the red moon, but I can't see anything. Are the clouds in the sky, Alison? Owen, in Ireland, can you see the blood red moon? Or no, sorry, not the blood red moon, the lunar eclipse over there in Ireland? Actually, I'm trying to think, Owen, are you Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland? I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever asked you that. Tracy's saying she's just seen it. But you're Tracy, are you close to the are you close to the coast? No, I was saying he can't see it because they've got clouds there. Clive Water was strange that they were thinking of increasing the cost by 300 and then decided to get. Well, we do Dublin, East Coast, Dublin. Thank you, Owen. Anna's saying can't see anything here either. Clouded over in the northeast. Oh, 3.5 miles is from the coast. What's happening, we think, Clive, is the newer people that are coming to the allotments are being charged a vastly increased rent from what we're going to be paying. There's a lady next door to us. She's got a double width plot, and she's been charged £175. There's another new guy down there who, in fact, I've been told is actually going to give his plot up already. He's only done one season, and he's going to give his plot up because he's paid £100. So the prices for the old tenants and the new tenants is vastly different. But Alison next door to us, she's worked her socks off to get her plot up together. But another couple that are immediately next door to us, they've given up because the landlords kept emailing them saying that they're not clearing the plots quick enough, which is such a shame. And they seemed very, very keen. So, Dave Ford, moon report, normal colour at the moment. Looks like a sort of eclipse is starting though. A bit on the right side. Okay. What happens if you lean to the left? Will it change? Everybody's saying, look, everybody's saying hello to Owen. If anybody here that hasn't joined Owen's YouTube channel, please do so. He's an incredibly fit man. The distances that man walks is absolutely crackers. But he's got two lovely dogs. One, the little Westie, sadly he can't get out quite so much at the moment because his little legs, he's getting quite old. Hello, John. Sorry I'm late. You don't have to apologise for joining in. But as I say, please give Owen a look on YouTube. He loves his camping. In fact, I think, Owen, haven't you been camping this weekend or yesterday? I joined into one of Owen's lives the other day, and some of his subscribers, I think 2 or 3, very kindly come over and join the Kevin's Rambles YouTube channel, which I was very, very chuffed about. And I subscribed back. I was saying the 7th was a full moon, so the bit missing might just moon phase. Zara's here listening, Kevin. Oh, Zara. Oh, I love Zara. She's so cute. And Owen, what's your other dog's name? I can never remember. I need to make a note of this. And I'm going to write this down. Zara Westie. Archie, that's it. Thank you, Owen. I'm making a note of this. I'm going to put it up on my board, stick it up there, and when I won't forget. Clive saying, reckon Dave Ford would see a blood moon at the moment, even if. Yeah, and probably Dave's still thinking he's walking backwards and forwards to the bar. Excuse me. Yeah, but I was a great guy, and he has some other very, very interesting people that join his live chats and things like that. So yeah, just give him a shout out and look him up on YouTube. And there's sticks. Oh, Craig, now I'm trying to think. It's probably not a good idea at just after 25 to 9 on a Sunday evening for me to start thinking, because everything just goes. But I don't know whether that's partly because I've been so busy this weekend, but I do feel quite tired tonight. Oh gosh. I think after this live, I might send Ron and Elaine a very quick message, and I might. I think I might go to bed. Hang on, I'm trying to. Where am I? Yeah. So straight above me is my bedroom, and I can almost hear it. Come to bed. Yeah. Okay. I'll be up in a minute. Well, not in a minute. I've got another nearly half an hour to do. Ron's saying, no, you can see the moon, Fiona. I've just been outside. Yeah, but Ron, Fiona lives at least 2 miles from you, so it might be cloudy down there. Alison's O'Brien, what's the name of Owen's channel on YouTube? Hey up, Paul. Alison, Life's a Hobby. That's his YouTube channel. So there's a clue in his what is next to his photograph, and also Adventures with Sog. Have a look at Adventures with Sog with Paul. He likes to go into abandoned buildings, and he loves to do his shorts along the canals and things like that. So yeah, check Paul out as well. As you can tell by what he typed there, Ayup, he's not from West Sussex. He's from, he's sort of from Sue Blount's neck of the woods in the Midlands, East Midlands, I think. Ron's saying that Fiona is less than a mile. Yeah, but you can have Ron, you could have rain in your garden, but not in the road outside. I can remember years ago when I lived in Hazelmere up in Surrey, my then wife Julie asked me if I would walk over to Way Hill to pick something up for her. And King's Road, where we lived, was absolutely bone dry, and I had to walk over a railway bridge to get to Way Hill. This was how weird it was. The King's Road side of the footbridge was dry. So the other side was completely wet, and that's how weird it can be. Ron says we always miss the rain. But I was driving several years ago. I was driving up the M1 to go to visit a family up in the East Midlands, and I couldn't work out why all these cars and lorries were coming towards me with headlights on, because we were in full sunshine, and I could suddenly see these brake lights coming on well ahead of me, and I looked like a bank of fog. But it wasn't. It was literally a wall of rain, and you barely couldn't. Once you got in there, you could barely see it. So all the traffic was literally at a snail's pace. That went on for, I'm guessing, about a mile and a half. You came out the other side, and you're in sunshine again. It was just this one block of solid rain. It was really weird. And when I got to Sue's place and I was explaining it to them, they found it very difficult to believe until they saw the news that evening about the reports about this block of rain. It was really weird. Ross, just been to look again, but no moon here, Ron. Which way are you looking, Fiona? Ron, where would the moon be? I think there's only one way she might be looking. Tracy's saying Portsmouth has a different climate to us, and it's only 9 miles away. Same with the Southampton, which is, yeah. Well, Midhurst has got what they call a microclimate, and so it can be warmer here by 2 or 3 degrees than into Esbourne, which is a mile and a half from me. It's very strange. Good evening, Kerry. I'm late, but watching the partial. Yes, everybody's watching it, Kerry. Clive's saying, King's Road and Hazelmere, a bit of a nightmare to turn left out of onto the main road of the town. Well, if you're coming along King's Road, Clive, and you get to the end of King's Road towards the station, you're actually not allowed to turn left. You have to go up to the station, through the station, and then back down the road. Owen's saying, moon is in the southern sky. Oh, okay. Andrew's saying, Kerry, you are the only person that can see the eclipse. Right, out the front door of our house, Fiona, which is east, I think. Yes, it would be, Rob. I'm trying to visualise your front drive. Yeah, it would be east, I think. Kerry said, "Oh, sorry, Andrew. It's been a bit. It's been behind the cloud, but appeared a few times." Tracy said it's about 30 degrees above the horizon in the east. Oh, right, okay. Keeps clouding over here, says Tracy. But people living in the south, what temperatures have you had today? In Midhurst, we've had 22 degrees. Hence the reason I'm shiny. As I said, I was out, didn't think about wearing a hat. We were enjoying ourselves so much. Tracy saying 20 degrees. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think, what time did I pick Cynthia up today? About 10:30, and it was in Midhurst. It was 22 degrees then. But yeah, it had a lovely, lovely day. But I think the forecast isn't very good for the next few days. John's saying very hot and sunny in Eastbourne. Yeah. Mark's saying 25. Look at this. Mark, where are you? You're Brighton way, aren't you? I think that's Brighton down that way. Mark is. Yeah, it's. Oh, Anna's saying 18, and you're up in north. Is it northeast, Anna? I think. Do excuse me for keep doing this. Oh, what temperatures have you had in Ireland today? Mark's in East Kent. Okay, yeah. Day 4. Moon update. I can imagine Dave's got Mrs. Ford sitting out in the garden, and she's relayed messages to Dave so he can give us an update. I think it's all happened. Only a bit of clips now. I think it happened at 7:30ish. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you for that, Dave. Yeah. I see the Mrs. Ford. Oh, he's got Logan or Pfeiffer with a GoPro pointing to the sky, and then they're coming back and he's having to download the information. It's very fascinating. I was saying it's like 14 degrees. Friday, I was camping and it was still not really cold at 3 a.m. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it was Friday you were out camping. How did it go, Owen? Did it go well? Dave saying, and that ends this evening's edition. Brilliant, Dave. Yeah. Ron Langdon, Dave is the new Sky Night presenter. Brilliant. Oh, yeah, that's great. This is. Owen said, I slept until 9 a.m. Brought a feather pillow. Oh, brought a feather pillow, had a blast. Brilliant. I'm glad you had a good time, Owen. I'm now. I don't know if you can pick up that little sound. I've got somebody on WhatsApp, a friend of mine and Cynthia's, Justin, who's been on the allotment waiting list for over a year, and he's now just sending me messages to say they've got a plot, and it's this and it's that. So I've had through, so I'm going to have to reply to them afterwards. Brought a feather pillow. Is that being a bit feather pillow to go camping with? But a pillow's like this. But I've seen on Owen's videos where he's got this. You know, when Cynthia and I go for a walk, we've got a rucksack that's like this. You know what I mean? A sandwich, a drinks bottle, a GoPro or something on, and perhaps a cap. Owen goes out with one of these massive, great big things. It's almost like he's moving house. Well, I suppose he is. He'll have his stove and his tent and his bedroll, and the feather crushes down, but seriously, a feather is the way to go. Okay, mate. Yeah. So what do you use as a bedroll? Is it one of these thin ones that inflates, Owen? I've never been camping, so I've got, you know, when I watch people like Owen doing these things, and I think, oh, that looks really, really good. I like that. But then I think, my bed up there is so comfortable. Paul from Adventures with Socks, a feather pillow for camping. That's posh. I use my backpack. Well, Paul, you're gonna have to get yourself a feather pillow. Hang on, a feather pillow. Day 4. Looking forward to Kevin's Rambles Christmas do at the Greyhound. Advance warning: I will wear in my kilt. Dave, as long as there's something on underneath it, mate, you can wear what you like. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get more details to everybody about the Christmas meal. I know Cynthia has taken photographs of the place when it was empty, which was perfect. We know the menu's not been produced yet, but we know the booking's there. It's our booking. as long as we can get a certain number, the room is ours completely. Nobody else will be in there. And what makes it even better is the kitchens are literally right next door. So they'll be opening the door, food out on the table. When will you want to know numbers, Cynthia? Not yet, Tracy. Well, you've already put your name down, I think, haven't you? Well, I think at the last count, there was 43 people that said they wanted to go. Unfortunately, Jacqueline has had to drop out. I think she's messaged in to say she dropped out. So we're looking at around about 40, which they can cater for very easily. So that'll be fine. So we're looking forward to it. But once Cynthia's got all the information out onto the group, then we'll start taking all the bookings and stuff like that. But people, rest assured that the people have said they're going to go, their names are down. Cynthia's got a list. So, and I'm just waiting for Cynthia to come up and say, talk about on cue. Yeah. Yeah. I hope there won't be. No, Andrew, that's all been sorted out, my friend. We said that Andrew Norris insisted that there be no background music. And they said, oh, as Mr. Norris said that, we will make sure that there's nothing on, apart from Dave Ford's kilt. Owen, why don't you try and get over here for the 14th of December? Bring your wife and join us for a Christmas meal. I know you've never been on one of our walks. Yeah, Cynthia's right. We asked for no music, and they can isolate from the bar to where we'll be sitting. And at least in December, it won't be as hot in there as it was today. It was really, really hot. But Dave will know the Greyhound, and the bit out the back. It's the absolutely perfect place for a group like ours to be able to go into, because they can arrange the tables in all different manners. So today there was 2 long tables. One was for a 70th birthday party, what was there, and then there was ours, much smaller group, but there was 15 of us on the long table. So yeah, the accommodation's great for the venue, I should say, for the meal is going to be excellent. And I've never ever had a bad meal there. I've got to be honest. Oh, insane, laughing out loud. I was just thinking that is sweet. Bring Zara. We can't leave her with anyone. She's like a water feature. But defo someday, Kevin. Brilliant. Thank you, Owen. It'd be great if you could come over and join us on one of our walks. We're not the intrepid explorers like you, as you know. You've seen the walks we do, but you would be very, very welcome to come and join us. Try and come over next July, Owen. We're going to be down in East Sussex again, and that's when we have 2 big group meetings where we have an organised meal, and that's July and December. So if you want to come over then, it'd be wonderful. Clive's saying, can you put Kathy and me on the Christmas lunch list, please? For some reason, I thought you already were. How could we not have Clive and Kathy on at our Christmas dinner? just in case any of you have not got the date, it is the 14th of December. Owen's saying it would be lovely to meet you. Likewise, Owen. Absolutely be lovely to meet you, my friend. You know, I can remember when the first game machines, was it the Atari thing where you had to move your cursor to hit this little dot, and it was kind of like this. And I was saying to somebody yesterday that how technology has changed. You know, if we wanted to get in touch with somebody, you know, you'd have to go to a telephone box and put your 2 pence old coin and dial the number, and then when somebody answers, you press button A, or you would write to them. Now it's instant communication. I think that side of technology is great. I worry greatly about children with screen time. You know, I was worried about my grandson, but he is such a clever boy, and he's learned a lot from the internet. But he's such a smart lad. So, you know, there's me running it down. But as a child or young boy, I was chatting to Cynthia about this, and the experts used to say one day there will be something called artificial intelligence. And you would think, what the heck is artificial intelligence? But it's here. And I think it's quite worrying, artificial intelligence. It's evolving so quickly, it just literally goes over my head. But it makes me, you know, the way it's developing, it makes me think of the film I, Robot. Perhaps I'm being, I can't think of the right word for it, but alarmist or something. But AI wanted me to take the dogs out kayaking, and hopefully you didn't. Oh dear. Clive's saying, I'm into my second gin. Oh, the gin tea, eh? Is that because you're watching the tennis? Which would explain my possible error. Cynthia's saying, Clive Waterfall, I had put you down. No, she hadn't put you down. She had you down as a possible. Now move to definite. Adventures with Sogs is saying, AI is taking away the skills needed for video and photography. Yeah. I think you're probably right, actually, Paul. Yesterday at my nephew's wedding, I was taking photographs of the bride and groom and the party and things like that. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I don't get a chance to take photographs when I'm out on walks because I'm always videoing. And Steve and Cynthia, they take the photographs, but I really enjoyed taking the photographs. So yeah. Tracy said, hope all goes well with your scan, Elaine. Is that this week, Tracy or Elaine? Like I'm saying, that's what it said. Yeah, hey guys, I'm off to bed. Good night, Kevin. Good night, Cynthia, Piano, Ron, Alison, everybody else. Thank you for the special one. Owen, good night, my friend. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much for saying good night to everybody else as well. Thanks for joining in, Owen. Really appreciate it. Nice guy. What a nice guy Owen is. He used to do a Saturday morning where diamonds keep hiking. Owen used to do this Saturday morning thing about 8 o'clock when he would play music, all types of music, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But I think good old YouTube, and I presume because of copyright issues, stopped him doing it. But it was really good. There was a lot of people used to get involved with it. I know Lynn B did, I did, and loads of other people. and it was really good fun. So Owen tries to do all different things. So yeah, he's a great fella. Um, Andrew's saying, Kevin, people of our generation have spanned analog to digital. Each had its own merits, but tech is moving so fast. Can't keep up with the. No, I'm absolutely right, Andrew. Oh, I was there. He said YouTube hated it. They started cutting it off. Oh, okay. Such a shame, Owen, because that was really good fun. I enjoyed that. Dave saying, Ian M has invited me along to a visit Wimborne on Thursday. So I said, yeah, okay, Dave. As you can hear, my voice is beginning to go. Moon's all over now, says Tracy. The lives were fun. Yeah, they were absolutely good fun, Owen. Yeah. Look, it's 9 o'clock. I am beginning to struggle a little bit with my voice, as you may be able to hear. So I'm going to say to everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been great fun. I really appreciate your time. So I'm going to say good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Everybody take care, stay safe, stay well. And I will speak to you all again in 1 month's time. Okay, good night. Thanks very much. I'm going to go and suck on a soother. Good night, everybody. Good night. Yeah.